Hi BookTube, Tamara here, and it's that time of year where everybody is doing some type of year wrap-up where they tell you the things that they love the most out of this year. And I read over 100 books for my Goodreads challenge this year, but what I realized that the majority of those books are from a different series because I am a habitual multiple book reader. It's like I get stuck in a rut and I have to read all the books and then I go to the next rut and read all the books. So instead of just doing a top 5 of my favorite books of the year, I'm going to tell you my top 5 series of the year. And I had to make qualifiers because otherwise it was going to be really hard to do this. One is that I read all of the books in this year. 2, there at least had to be 3 of the books currently released. And I did not, at first I was going to say that all of the books had to be out, but then I decided not to do that. Let me tell you the books that didn't make the list, but were very close. The Shatter Me series by Tamara. I read the first book, Shatter Me, in December of 2014. So otherwise that would have made my list because I really enjoyed reading that one. The other one that I was really close was the Winner's Circle Trilogy by Maria Rukowski. The third book in the series is coming out next year, and I'm sure you guys have heard about it because there is a big hullabaloo about how the publishers have changed the cover so that now this third book that's going to be released is not going to match the other covers that people have been anticipating and collecting on their shelves. Now it seems as though they're trying to market to a certain type of reader instead of telling the story of the character in the book as the other two did. But anyway, so since there's a trilogy and there's only 2 of the books out, I decided that would not make the list. However, I love those books and broke my heart. Oh, broke my heart. About killed me. I died 12 deaths, but it did not make this list for those reasons. And the third one that probably would have made the list if I'd actually read the third book is the Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I haven't read the third book yet. I haven't read it yet. And I have just been getting those books from the public library, so I think that there was at one point I almost had the book and something happened. I can't remember. Because again, you know, I get really caught up in reading all the books in a series, so something happened and I didn't get to read it yet. So otherwise that one probably would have made this list, but I don't know because I haven't read the third book yet, so you know. Let me tell you about the top 5 series that I enjoyed in 2015, and they're going to be in no particular order because you are not the boss of me and I refuse to rank. The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott. This, I think, has 7 different books. And the story starts off with this brother and sister. They're working at a bookstore in the summer. Their parents are off, they're archaeologists, and they're off doing their archaeologist thing elsewhere. And while they're at this bookstore, this mysterious man comes and all hell breaks loose. And there is absolutely no way that I could have ever predicted how this book was going to end from the first book to that last book. Phenomenal series. I love how Michael Scott created this whole mythos by using famous figures from history like Joan of Arc and Shakespeare. It's brilliant. I love this series. I loved it. The next one I'll talk about is The Others by Anne Bishop. this book is, so far there's 3 books out in this series, and I think there's going to be 2 more. One of them will be released in 2016, March of 2016, and I'm not sure when the second one is. I'm going to guess probably 2017. This series stars Meg Corbin, and this world is totally upside down and very interesting, because humans are kind of the invaders of this world, and the rulers of the world are actually werewolves and vampires and other mythical, otherworldly beasts, and the humans are kind of tolerated barely. And this series is taking such interesting twists and turns and showing how these different factions of entities start to work together against a common threat. So yes, I would definitely check it out. Do you like werewolves? Do you like vampires? Do you like books about those entities that has kind of a romantic edge, but it's not kicking you in the face with it? I think you'd probably like this. I'm pretty sure that I have talked about the Parasol Protectorate by Gail Carriger on here before, because I loved this series so much. This is another one that's set in an alternate universe. This one is the 1800s in a steampunk kind of way. Some of the novels are set in London and others are set in Egypt and Scotland. So you go to various different areas in this steampunk adventure. The main female protagonist is Alexia Terbati. She is everything that you are not supposed to be in the 1800s as a female. She is very learned. She likes the books and the science. Oh God! She's also unabashedly interested in eating tea cakes and drinking tea. She is not afraid to eat. So she is more of a plus size woman, and she is looked down upon because of that by her mother and her sisters. Though their dynamic is discussed in this 5-book series, it is not the main focus. In this version of London, there are people, there are the werewolves, and there are vampires. And the vampires have of course been around for centuries, and they are very much involved in the finer things in life. They are the trendsetters for fashion, and the werewolves are not. They are rough and tumble, and they put up with zero BS. Alexia kind of walks between all of these different groups because she is an entirely different kind of being. Because of what she is that her family does not realize, it kind of kicks into gear all of these interesting things. When she touches a vampire at this dance at the beginning of the book, all sorts of things are kind of kicked off. And so, steampunk, yes. Otherworldly creatures, yes. The romance aspect of it was much more obvious than the other series. However, I don't feel as though that detracted from the books. So, if you like supernatural entities and steampunk with a little bit of romance and a spunky heroine, get into it. It's good. As you guys know, I love reading romances. This trilogy is from Nora Roberts, and it's called the Circle Trilogy, and I think these were written in the 90s, and basically it's 6 people from different times and universes or places who have to come together to save the world from this faction of evil vampires. It's heavy on the romance, so if you do not like heavy romance that can get a little explicit, then this may not be the series for you. However, There are vampires, there are vampire hunters, there's time travel, time and space travel. It's set in the US and Ireland, and it's a trilogy. And these books are very entertaining. They kept me interested the entire time that I read them. So if you like romance and you like these things, then I would definitely get into it. And the last series that I am going to add to this 5 favorites is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. This is a middle grade series where the protagonist, Percy Jackson, is always in trouble at school, and there's always some weird stuff that happens with him. And in the first book, he finds out that he is the son of a Greek god, and then things get weird. Now, this series is extremely fun. It didn't really start to pick up for me until the 3rd book or so, and I think it's a 5-book series. However, it was incredibly fun and I really enjoyed it. I, of course, did not read it during like the optimum age for this series. However, even as someone who is in her 20-somethings plus age, I really enjoyed it. And I'm sure that a lot of you have read it and liked it, or have heard of it, so I won't go into a lot of detail. But if you haven't read it and you enjoy Greek mythology, adventure stories, and wisecracking humor, Rick Riordan wrote a good series for you. That's all. Those are my top 5 and some others. Let me know in the comments below, did you read any of these? Love them? Hate them? What's your top series of this year? Let me know, because I love talking with you guys. Thanks so much for checking this out and sticking around for this year. I'm looking forward to a lot of good things for the year to come. And I will see you in the next video, which is going to be, I'm pretty sure, a 2016 writing resolutions video. Shocking, I know. Click like if you like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.